And then all of a sudden, you're now seeing Zenitsu, Inosuke show up. Then our hero, well, one of the heroes, Tanjiro, also shows up as well. And then, gentlemen and ladies, we now have a fight. Welcome back again. So, what exactly does Uzui Tengen have to do with the idea of being on the edge of victory? Now, that is a huge entire thing. Again, if you've been following everything that's been happening with the entertainment arc, which is where Uzui's whole story kicks off, to be more specific, they've gone through the whole trying to figure out, okay, is there an upper moon here, as in the city, where they're investigating. They go through a lot of different things, as in, Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Zenitsu are pulled into the mission. They actually come in there to help with the investigation, go to different houses to find out who's been taking all the humans or devouring some of them quietly. And obviously the story is building. And the aim of this whole thing is to take down any demon that's in the vicinity so that they can save the humans there. That is one of the key things for those who are part of the Demon Slayer Corps, is to save the human beings by slaying the yokai. So you'll find that as they're going through all of this, they end up going down into the, I won't call it endgame scenario, but where things start to pop off. As in, they find where all the people are being stored. Inosuke actually finds it. Prior to that, you're going to also see something that is going to be crucial for the rest of the whole story. In that when Zenitsu, who's one of the three, obviously, junior demon slayers, gets taken and disappears, our awesome, amazing sound Hashira Tengen actually tells Inosuke and Tanjiro that he made a mistake in how he was assessing the whole entire mission, and that he'll just go it alone, that they should actually go back and leave the city. Now, if they were very obedient students, they would have actually left based on his orders, but they chose to not do that. And you're going to find out how important that is in the whole entire thing that unfolds. So again, back to where Inosuke finds this cache of people who have been kidnapped, and they're in trouble when he gets in over his head. And guess who obviously shows up? You guessed it, Tengen. So Tengen shows up, saves the day there, and now he heads out when he realizes that, okay, something's happening in the city. Meanwhile, Tanjiro is, fighting for his life in that, he's pushing beyond the limits, gets hit with a blow right across here. His sister is in trouble. I'm really running through a lot here. Please watch the whole arc. It is fantastic. My gosh, fantastic. So they get to a situation where it's revealed. And again, if I didn't say this before, I'll say it right now. There are spoiler alerts. Sorry. If you don't want it to be ruined, please just either block your ears or go watch the episodes yourself. So they end up finding out that obviously Daki is not the only yokai here. She's not the true upper six, which is a shocker because it changes the whole entire fight. As in, Daki is someone Tengen easily handles, takes off the head like nothing. But when her brother wakes up, as in Gyutaro, this whole fight goes, whew. I mean, listen to him say that.
Ma, 一筋縄にはいかねえよな。俺たちは。
So Tengen says what he said right there, that it's not going to be a cakewalk, and literally he's already been hit with poison, which is amazing that he's able to hold there. I mean, he's not a Pokemon, but the poison resistance there is clearly either it's a buff or no, maybe it's an innate skill since he obviously was trained as a ninja. And now you see that he's kind of in trouble. This was when, he's thinking it's obviously him versus the two upper six. And then all of a sudden, you're now seeing Zenitsu, Inosuke show up. Then our hero, well, one of the heroes, Tanjiro, also shows up as well. And then, gentlemen and ladies, we now have a fight. And the fight goes crazy. Man, I mean, UFO table, I keep saying they're cooking lovely visuals. Now you see that the fight really gets crazy in terms of everything that happens. They almost swap enemies to fight at a certain point in time, realizing that for them to win, they do have to take off the heads of both siblings at the same time, which is tricky. More so because of Gyutaro. And this guy is a freak. Wow. I mean, I don't say that in an offensive way. I'm saying it. His skills are insane. He's using, I think, the whole Premantis sickle weasel type thing you see in the Japanese manga, and he is skilled with this. I mean, man, look at the heck. Oh my gosh, the way he's messing up Uzui, who is insanely fast. So if Gyutaro is faster than him, maybe by, I don't know, maybe 2-3 notches, but not enough that Uzui can't track him, but enough that movement-wise they're not on the same level. It's a fight. It's a really serious fight. And Uzui is a Hashira. He's no stranger to fights like this, but this one, one for the record books. And you're seeing them battle it out. They have their long range and short range maneuvers, as in skills. Yet Gyutaro's is deadly. The sickles, he can throw them. His blood demon art, which he's able to use for kind of long range and I guess a bit of short range, maybe mid. So the whole fight is going crazy. Initially, it's Tanjiro barely backing up Uzui in this fight against Gyutaro, while Zenitsu and Inosuke are fighting against Daki in the roof. Then at some point, they end up doing a switch to hopefully take off Daki's head, then come back and assist Uzui. The only thing that happens here is that that whole thing goes sideways due to Gyutaro actually getting the upper hand against Uzui, as in literally taking off a hand. To be more specific, I think it's his left hand. So now, when they come to, as in, they're like, what? Uzui's, poisons pretty much got to him. Gyutaro can't even hear his heartbeat. And Tanjiro's really the only one who's now in play because Inosuke is almost dying. That's not funny. It's just how crazy this whole thing spun out. Inosuke is almost dying with that comeback from Gyutaro. Zenitsu is stuck under rubble, so, he's pretty much out of commission, I guess. And Tanjiro is the only one who's really there, but I mean, what's he really going to do against an upper six? So, he gets beaten, but he does his best to still stand his ground and fight and do the best he can. I mean, what he did here was just madness. given that it's just, anyway, take a look. Yeah, crazy. He does his best, but you see him, even with those two broken fingers, trying to put in the final hit, and it's still not enough. Like, what do you say there? When you're almost again on the edge of victory, and what you have is still not it. What's resisting you is able to push back, as you can see here, with how Gyutaro was pushing back against Tanjiro's, final swing, or Kamikagura here. And when Gyutaro finally pushes out the sword from his neck, it's pretty much over. Let's just call it. Tanjiro, he couldn't hold a candle to Gyutaro's skills before, and he's not holding a candle now. So Gyutaro is pretty much overwhelming him. Tanjiro is still standing his ground on what he's doing. The mentality to never give up in spite of daunting odds. And right here, when you obviously know he's about to go meet his family on the other side, boom, this happens.